Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shadow Call podcast, episode 65.
And this
Can't take him anywhere,
and
folks.
we've already gone off a cliff.
And already gone.
Oh shit. It popped.
Clip that, please. Somebody clip that. It might be too soon, but please clip that one moment, please. Oh my God, there you proof. Levi spits.
Oh, fuck you. Fucking shit. Excuse me for a second.
You want to make it in the business, kid? Yeah.
And Levi's gone. So, hey, welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Shadow Cult. It's your boy, Mr. Scott here. And of course, that's James over there, We Are Pro Wrestling. And the kid in the middle who can't keep his shit together, that's Levi, Fresh Maniac 99.
Anyways,
A spitter, not a swallower.
That's right. Ain't gonna
He
get far in the
admitted
business, kid. That's right. That's right.
Am I safe to return?
But a
No,
lovely
I'm not,
tea
but
party.
whatever. Anyways, so, yes, episode 65. Last week, we did the top 10 SummerSlam main events. This time around, top 10 disappointments in SummerSlam. So, the opposite of the coin, pretty much. Well, not quite, because, well... Some of these matches...
Another different coin.
Yeah. It's like the world's biggest fucking apple
Totally
versus the
different
world's
coin.
biggest fucking orange. But yeah, so, yeah, we're talking disappointing SummerSlam matches. Now, let me emphasize something for people. Not all these matches are necessarily bad. They can be really good matches, but if they didn't live up to the hype or the action
guys.
wasn't quite there...
Hey,
Yes.
Levi, can you stall for a little bit? I got to reset my internet box.
Okay,
Sure.
no problem.
You
I
do
guess
your
we'll stall for time here.
This happens when we're live, folks. It's not the first time. And as you see, Walter cannot join us this week. He's got big dad stuff to do at home. So thankfully, I have his list of the top 10 most disappointing matches in SummerSlam history. So I will be regaling you with his list as well as mine tonight. So yay, we got Walter involved. Very happy that we did that. Hate the
Yeah,
fact when we have these top 10s, we can't get his info. So, but yeah, he's got big dad, big guy stuff to take care of tonight. So.
but they will probably have
Not a
him
bad
back on next week since he'll be on Sunday instead of Saturday.
And yes, important programming note. Next Saturday night, we are not here because of SummerSlam, it being live that night. So we will be here Sunday afternoon to give you our thoughts about SummerSlam. And the following week, we will not be here at all because your boy over here, Levi, is going to be away.
Yeah, for a few days. And then we'll be back in full swing in September.
Scary to think it's almost fucking September. Jesus.
I know, right?
Mm.
Good lord. But anyway, so Ricky in the Twitch chat's like, show the presents. Well, yeah, so Sunday was my birthday. I'm officially 27 now.
You're not old. Stop thinking that, please.
Well, anyways.
All right, please. I'm 19 years older than you. I can say I'm old. All right. And hello, Russell, in the chat on YouTube. What's going on? Bud? Good to
Yeah,
see you.
Russell, both Arthur and Ricky in the Twitch chat. But, so anyways, so yeah, the birthday presents. First, I'm going to start off with what my mom got me. Too bad these didn't come till Wednesday because Amazon kind of stupid at times. But first...
Jeffrey Bezos. Okay, go ahead.
So first we got Black Sabbath Dehumanizer from 1992. Probably the most underrated Sabbath album, I would say. Just because it doesn't get quite as much love as the early Dio stuff or even the Ozzy stuff. Maybe their heaviest album, too, if I could go on a limb. Next up...
Yeah, I needed to revisit that album. It's been a long time since I listened to it.
Yeah, I'd been obsessed with the song Too Late off of this album, and it is heavy and dark. But next up, probably one of the most underappreciated albums of the last decade or two, Judas Priest, Nostradamus. People, I see a lot of people hate this album because I get it. It's long. It's 90 minutes of 2 discs, but I love it. I think it's a great album. I think the problem people have with this album is that they wished Iron Maiden did this album. There's some merit to it because this concept seems to fit more Maiden than Priest, but it's still Judas Priest. Speaking of Judas Priest, we got Firepower, their last album, and James is back.
I'm back.
And James is back, bitches. Back in the house.
So I'll quickly run through them all. So I got Testament, The New Order, and The Last Present from My Mom, At the Gates, Nightmare of Being, which came out just over a month ago. And then these I got, this one, a present from Hannah from the Horseman podcast, Autopsy, Severed Survival, with both covers. With both covers, because...
Both covers on there. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I prefer this one, for sure.
Of course.
Less cheesy. And then these other ones I got either at the mall or off of Amazon. First, Metallica's S&M Symphonic Live album.
Love that album.
Never thought I'd find this in a store. Metallica's Beyond Magnetic EP from 10 years ago. Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. An all-time classic, Deep Purple, Machine Head. Mm-hmm. And I actually forgot another one. Because I'm dumb.
One more.
A couple more. Yes, Close to the Edge. Classic prog rock. Mm-hmm. Dio, Last in Line. And then Scott loved it that I got this. The Typo Negative Roadrunner collection. Slow, Deep, and Hard. Origin of the Feces. Bloody Kisses. Probably the reason I got this because there's 2 lesbians on the cover.
Yes.
So October... it's the name of Zev's new videos.
Bloody Kisses.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know if she's. I don't even know
if
she's
first
in
track
the vampire
in the album is called Machine Screw.
True. Then we got October Rust, World Coming Down, and Life is Killing Me. So I got 6 out of 7 Typo albums in one box. Yeah. So there you go. So there's all the birthday presents. And James is back, so now let's get into the episode. Top 10 disappointing SummerSlam matches. Now, like I said, matches don't have to be necessarily bad. They can be really good, but just were disappointing to us because of for bigger expectations. Or a finish, or the booking, or other circumstances. And we'll get into those as we go along. But first off, honorable mentions time. For this, I only had 2 honorable mentions, shockingly enough.
Me too.
First off, a match that I still can't believe actually took place on a SummerSlam. This felt more like a SmackDown match, but it just happened to be for the WWE Championship. From 2016, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. Why did this match have to happen? Just why? Ambrose deserved better. Ambrose deserved better opponent for this show than Ziggler. No disrespect to Ziggler, but match was alright, but the fact this match actually existed is like, really? And then my second honorable mention, this is going to be a bit of a shocker. Brock Lesnar Triple H from 2012. The match was good. The match itself was good, but they had a much better match at WrestleMania 29. Much better. Yeah. And also, the build-up was kind of off heading into this match. I thought the build-up heading into WrestleMania was a lot better, too. So this was kind of like, it felt more like a snack rather than a main course. If, to use a food analogy, that's what this match felt like.
If you will.
If you will. But yeah, those were my 2 quick honorable mentions. Scott?
All right, I'll do mine, then I'll do Walter's for you. I just have 2 honorable mentions on mine. One kind of but my first one is SummerSlam 92, Ultimate Warrior versus Randy Savage. And I put on here because it's disappointing. SummerSlam 97, Owen Hart, Steve Austin. The accident. The tombstone. The way it ends. I mean, you can't watch the match because you know what's going to happen. And that, to me, makes it a huge disappointment. On to Walter's list of honorable mentions. I have here, he has from 2009 SummerSlam, Christian versus William Regal. From 2005 SummerSlam, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. And from the 1990 SummerSlam, Sapphire versus Sensational Sherry. And that's Walter's honorable mentions.
James.
All right, I have 5 honorable mentions. First one, Undertaker versus Kane from 2000. Second one might be a little controversial, but Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio in the ladder match, 2005.
I almost put that on my list.
Next one, Hulk Hogan versus Randy Orton, 2006. Then Randy Orton versus John Cena, 2009. And finally, CM Punk, John Cena, 2011.
Almost put that on there. Yeah, geez. Had a couple in there. I didn't really put them on honorable mentions, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Good finish.
And a lot of your guys' honorables were in that group of like 20 or 30 matches I had to narrow down.
Yeah, there you go. Sweet.
Alrighty. Well, time to get started. Well, my number 10, James just spoiled just now in his honorable mentions. Yes, CM Punk, John Cena for the Undisputed title, 2011 with Triple H referee. The match, it's a really good match, but in comparison to the other matches these two had, this was definitely the worst match these two had. One-on-one. Still really good, but couple of things. They tried to recreate the magic of Money in the Bank the month prior, which you could not do that. 2, the build-up heading in, Punk's only gone for 8 fucking days. You couldn't just milk it a little bit longer? And yeah, by milking, like, but yeah. And then 3, this match felt more like it should have been about CM Punk Triple H rather than CM Punk John Cena. And then, of course, Punk couldn't even win the match clean. And then, out comes Kevin Nash, jackknife, and then Del Rio cashed in. So it's like, this is how you're going to end the show? With that? And the whole Punk-Nash stuff didn't go anywhere, and it was more about Triple H and Nash towards the end of the year anyway. So, just a lot of questionable decisions about this match. The match was really good, but so many things was just off about it, and that's why it was number 10 on my list. Scott?
All right, I'll do Walter's next. On his list, his number 10, and there's a caveat to this, Elimination Chamber 2003. Yes, it was on last week's list, but this was for the finish of that match, being disappointing. Not a bad match, but a disappointing finish. So that is why Walter has it on his list, number 10. My list, my number 10, SummerSlam 2017, Jinder Mahal, Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE title. Ugh. What could have been? What could have fucking been? Because we could have seen Nakamura Lesnar. But disappointing. James.
The only reason I didn't have that match on the list because it's Jinder and Nakamura. Of course, it wasn't going to be that good because Jinder, well, at least back then, could only wrestle one particular match, and it was always terrible. But
see,
well, that's not the situation that Nakamura could have won, and we could have Nakamura.
Yeah,
that's the disappointment.
Should have won.
So.
Yeah,
should have won. My number 10. My number 10 should have been the launch of a brand new singles star, but instead was the end of his singles run, Rock Billy Gunn 1999 in the Kiss My Ass match.
Oh, wow. Great call.
Solid match.
Yeah.
But this could have been better because Rock is Rock. Billy Gunn was a solid fucking performer.
Yeah.
This should have been really good, but it really seemed that The Rock did not want to work with him, and the buildup was him completely just, well,
destroying
you're finished.
Yeah. Bob? Mm-hmm. But my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is.
It doesn't matter.
Just that promo killed Billy Gunn's singles run.
And the stipulation of a kiss my ass match, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I get it, Mr. Ass, but still.
So yeah, that's my number 10.
There you go.
Well, my number 9, James already spoiled in his honorable mentions. Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero in the ladder match in 2005. Said it many times before, and I'm going to keep hammering it until it gets through people's heads. This match is not one of the best ladder matches ever, people. It's a good match. I'm not taking that away. It is good, but it's probably the most overrated ladder match I have ever seen. A lot of botches in this match that people don't remember. The big one, where the fuck was Vicky?
Vicky!
and just the stipulation itself was just absurd as hell. Even for Ruthless Aggression era or even Attitude era standards, this was absurd as fuck. You know, and yeah, it's like Ray and Eddie had much better matches before and a much better cage match after this. So yeah. Yeah, match is good, but could have been better. Could have been worse. I don't know. Number 9. Scott?
Number 9. All right, Walter's number 9 is a match. It's on my list, and I'm going to guess it's on all our lists at some point. We talked about this ad nauseum when we did the show. SummerSlam 93, Lex Luger, Yokozuna. Yeah, for the obvious reasons. We already talked a lot about it. But, and like I said, it's on my list later on, too. And who knows, it might be on your guys' list, too. My number 9 might also be on other people's lists, because I know it's on Walter's. SummerSlam 2013, the Ring of Fire match. Bray Wyatt versus Kane. All right. I'm not going to talk about it since you got it so high up your list. So that's my number 9. James.
My number 9, considering the build-up to the match, and especially the match they had after this should have been much, much better. John Cena versus Edge 2006 for the WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm.
This, just, holy shit. It was okay, but they had a much better match the month after this. They had much better matches, period. But this one should have been way fucking better. My number 9.
Number 9. Number 8. Number 8, Levi.
All right, my number 8. This is a bit of an... I can't do it quite just right now.
Got nothing in there right now? It's okay.
No, I still have onion ring aftertaste, and it's bad, but anyways. But yeah, my number 8, a bit of an oddball match, considering the match type itself. Ken Shamrock, Steve Blackman in the Lion's Den match from 99. Simply put, you know, you had the Lion's Den the year before, which James covered that show on From the Vault yesterday. Fantastic with Shamrock and Owen. You would have thought on paper, you know, Shamrock and Blackman, this could have been a great sequel. It really wasn't. I mean, they added weapons into the match, which I felt kind of took a little bit away from the match. Whereas instead of it being more MMA-based, it was more weapon-based. And it's like, you're kind of taking away what made the first one so special. And also, Blackman and Shamrock, at this point, it's like once you've seen one Blackman-Shamrock match, you've seen them all, really. But not bad. It was okay, but in comparison to the Lion's Den match the year before, it doesn't come close to it. And that's why it's my number 8. Damn you, Barney Rubble. Scott?
Nice. I am a big Oklahoma. I ain't Biggie. You didn't know I could do Barney, could you? All right. Number 8. Walter's number 8. I forgot about this match. I should have put it on my list, but I did not. But he has it here at his number 8. SummerSlam 1990, McIntyre Dusty Rhodes versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. Got a three. So we've already called 2 and 3 on Levi's list. I will not go further on that match then. You can have more talk about that one. My number 8 is good match, but lame ass finish. SummerSlam 2019, Kofi Kingston RKO for the WWE title.
4.
Ending in a double freaking countout. Really? I mean, Kofi Mania was just a few months ago, and we couldn't do something better. You're staring at people in the front row that would double. What? Why? Why you do this to me? I was like, oh, so close, but so yeah, utter disappointment right there. It's just like a bad cow. Utterly disappointment. James.
Oh god.
My number 8 is actually Walter's number 8, and I'll let Levi talk about it when he gets to it. Randy Savage, Dusty Rhodes, 1990.
There you go. You're having a lot to talk about, Levi. Won't
oh god, yeah.
It's up for you.
Well, my number 7, Walter had it on his list. The Elimination Chamber match from 2003. I mean, first of all, the match was way too fucking short. I think on record, this is the shortest Elimination Chamber match they ever had. Under 20 minutes? Really? And the match was going so good up until the finish, which, of course, yeah, Goldberg going on a tear. This should have been his night to finally get crowned champion. And Triple H, one sledgehammer shot, that was it. Triple H, you were fucking hurt. You needed time off. You couldn't put Goldberg over here when it mattered. And in the end, basically killed Goldberg's run for the rest of his time in his first WWE run before he come back over a decade later and have the best run in the company for himself. But regardless, I mean, the match, it was going so good. But again, the match way too short. And Goldberg didn't get the moment when it should have happened. So, that's my number 7. Scott?
All right. Our good brother Walter's number 7 is SummerSlam 2004, JBL versus The Undertaker.
Ooh.
There's a response you're looking for with that matchup right there. And my number 7, now you have to preface this. This is the old guy talking here, okay? Because probably no one else is going to have their on the list, but the old guy's going to mention this one, and that is SummerSlam 1991, the match made in hell. Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, Colonel Mustafa against Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, with Sid Justice as the referee. At the time, they were really building this match up huge. Warrior was back, and everything was all great, and he was in the company. Remember, we don't know shit about behind the scenes at this time, so we don't know about the drama that's happening. The best guy in this match is Slaughter, for fuck's sake. So it's like, what does that tell you? Adnan does not belong in the match. He should not have been in there to begin with. He should have just been on the floor. Good old Make You Humble is, bloated at this point, came over around as good as he used to. Slaughter's very good. Hogan, we know what Hogan does. Hogan must pose, and we know what happens with Warrior in this match. Years later, we get all the background. I couldn't wait to fire him. That whole stuff there. So,
yeah.
And then the whole trying to pass the torch to Sid thing after the match with the posing, and they can't even get that right. Just back then, it was like, this match would be so good, and then you think about it years later, it's like, what the fuck? So that's my number 7. James.
My number 7 from 1999, the main event, Steve Austin, Triple H, Mankind for the WWF Championship. First, this should have just been Austin, Triple H, one-on-one. They changed it so much within the month leading into SummerSlam. We get the triple threat. There's a lot of screwy shit with this match, and Mankind wins. Again, we all love Mick Foley, but he wins the title? I don't get it. And okay match, solid even, but could have been way better. Should have been one-on-one. That's all I really got to say about it.
All right, Forrest Gump style. Levi.
All right, number 6. I've been prefacing this one for quite a bit now. My number 6, Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, 2000.
Ooh, yeah.
For many factors.
Because.
For many factors. First, you have this match happen. The Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle. You got so much going into this. The Rock, who is the fucking champion, was the third wheel in a match here. Number 2, this match was more about Triple H and Kurt Angle fighting over Stephanie than it was about the fucking title. And number 3, Kurt Angle gets concussed before the match could even start because the infamous, what was supposed to happen, a simple pedigree through the table, stretcher job, Kurt comes back out later to continue. What ends up being a worked stretcher job becomes shoot because, the table gave way under the weight, Angle goes face first on the floor, and he's in La La Land for the rest of the night. So if I was to have rebooked this entire show, just have what happened at Unforgiven the month after with Angle and Triple H, do it here, and it would have been bigger. And as far as who The Rock could defend the belt against, do a triple threat with Benoit and Jericho, and it would have made sense, because Rock and Benoit was going at it. Benoit and Jericho was going at it. Jericho wanted another crack at the title. Why not put all those elements into this match? And it would have been way better than what we ended up with. Good match, but the match just felt more like a love triangle story and Kurt getting hurt beforehand, and The Rock felt like he just did not belong in this match. And that's why it's my number 6. Scott?
All right. Well, Walter's number 6 is actually my number 4, and I'm going to talk more in depth about it when I get to mine if someone else doesn't get to it by then, which you might. But Walter's number 6, SummerSlam 2001, Undertaker and Kane versus Diamond Dallas Page and Canyon in the Cage.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
dear God.
Oh, dear God, yeah. And I have that later on my list, too.
Now.
Going to get into that one. But my number 6, and it's not a great match anyway, but what a fucking build-up it was. SummerSlam 94, Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Oh, man.
All that fucking build-up. It would just... All that, oh man, just
fucking
so much
Leslie
time
Nielsen involved with it.
I saw The Undertaker.
Yes.
He came, this big guy came into my store, and it was The Undertaker. He bought all these donuts, and he wanted his casket reupholstered. It's The Undertaker. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. In a match that should have been a goddamn slaughter from the top, you get this slow, drawn-out, double dead man gimmick going on there that just... You can't watch the match anymore because he just... utterly disappointing, once again. So, that's my number 6.
James. And to add on to that, thank God that Brett and Owen went long because Undertaker versus Undertaker was supposed to be double the time it went.
Oh, jeez.
And there was talk of Brian Lee continuing being under Faker after this match until it happened. So,
my number 6 has already been talked about before, the Elimination Chamber from 2003. If Goldberg goes over, this match is not on here. But he lost to Triple H with one move. That was Triple H's only move the entire fucking match because he was hurt. This was a case of Triple H either should have dropped the belt here or he should have dropped it before SummerSlam and been taken out of the match.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go.
And now, into the
top 5 time.
Top 5 time.
Top 5. My number 5, James already brought it up. Austin, Triple H, Mankind, 99. I mean, so many factors here. First and foremost, the build-up to this match was a ginormous clusterfuck. You know, Triple H gets a shot by beating The Rock in the strap match, fully loaded the month before. Then he has to defend it against Undertaker in China. China gets the shot. And then China loses the shot to Mankind. Triple H gets inserted back into the match. Second off, yeah, Jesse Ventura coming in, doesn't want to raise the hand of a heel, and that's another reason why Foley got in there. And then the biggest reason of all, the persistent rumor that Austin didn't want to put Triple H over on this show for spite or what have you. Yeah, it's like, I love you, Steve Austin, you're my favorite of all time, but yeah, you aren't innocent in this. But yeah, the match was alright, but yeah, should have been Austin Triple H and should have been Triple H's moment. Granted, he got the moment the next night, so it worked out in the end, but could you have imagined how things could have been had Triple H won the belt here from Austin?
His moment got derailed 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, my number 5. Scott?
All right. Walter's number 5 was my number 10, and that was Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura from SummerSlam 2017. So I already talked about that one. And my number 5, I contemplated whether actually putting this on the list to begin with, but, it's such a bad match, but there could have been, if one person had just shut the fuck up and listened, maybe they could have got something out of this and made it something better than it was. And that, of course, is the infamous SummerSlam 1995 Diesel versus Mabel. Disappointing, just how they, at the time, remember, you got a lot of stuff you got to put into context for the time it was. It was the lull of the business, and they were trying to build Mabel. Diesel's their champion. There's so much going on in the wrestling industry. It's like they're clamoring for anything. This is the best they can do at the time. All right, well, that's the best you can do. Give us the best match you can. Mabel won't listen. He's too young and green. There's only so much Diesel can do at his point in time in his career. So you can't watch the match, not just because it's bad, but just because it's so disappointing about everything about this time frame in the world of pro wrestling. So that's my number 5.
And one can argue the worst match in SummerSlam history, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And who will ever forget the infamous spot where Mabel does the backsplash on Diesel when Nash told him don't do it, and he does it anyway. God damn it, Mabel! Yeah, and Mabel about got fired. Yeah.
You listen.
Fuck! God damn it, motherfucker! Fuck! And you can hear it. Audible as all hell.
Well, right there. Mm-hmm. All right, James, fire it up, man.
My number 5 was a legit dream match, and it ended up being 2016 Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton.
Ooh.
That was... I was looking forward to that match because it was that one match we didn't get to see during that original run of Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I think they fought when Orton was not Randy just yet. It was just but when they were both legit top guys, we never got to see that. We finally got to see it, and it just ended up being and Brock fucking just punched Orton, legit cut him open, and that was the end of the match.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, now
so Randy made a lot of money in that fight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. My number 4, and this one's obvious because of circumstance, but when you see this match on paper, you'd think this would have been really good, but match was all right, but for obvious circumstances is on here. Goldust, Brian Pillman, 1997. It's like on paper, this should have been a really good match, but because we all know with Pillman and his ankle and everything, that's why the match was what it was, and I'll just leave it at that. Scott?
All right. Walter's number 4 was a match that was on my honorable mentions. And yep, once SummerSlam 92, Ultimate Warrior Randy Savage. Yeah. Can't do what they did before. Wasn't going to work. Just throwaway match. Utterly disappointing again. That's just going to be the underlying subtitle of this show. Utterly disappointing. My number 4, as I mentioned, was Walter's number 6, and that is the WCW WWF Tag Team title cage match, Undertaker Kane, DDP Canyon. Wow. Let's just destroy these motherfuckers in one fell swoop and just be done with it. When you got Kane just like kind of sitting there and just like, all right, yeah, let him have his fun. I ain't got nothing to do here. You know, people are getting buried. So it's like, And, I do make the argument about burying people on TV and all that stuff. If you're on TV, you're not getting buried. Well, this was not, it's really a case of getting buried. I misspoke there. But it's just a question of just like, there's nothing you're doing right. We don't like you here. You're not doing stuff right. I'm just going to take you down and show you how we do things here. It was an education on DDP's part. And would be sometime after this that you started seeing that you didn't see the stalker gimmick anymore, and you started seeing the smiling. It's me, DDP. That whole thing. So
yeah.
And Canyon was getting a fucking push back then. U.S. title, tag title, all that stuff was getting a lot of time on TV. And then you put him in there with those guys, just like, all right, Shark Cage is closed. Just give him the chum. This one's over. So
yeah,
that's my number 4.
James?
My number 4 has already been brought up. Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton for the WWE title in 2019. You had a decade worth of story with this one. This was one of the bigger matches on that show. And what did we end up with? Okay match with a shitty fucking finish. Like, you couldn't have had Kofi go over here. You really couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Dave
All
Hester.
Right. Number 3.
All right, number 3. Already brought up earlier. Randy Savage, Dusty Rhodes, 1990. And it's another case of, you look at this on paper, Dusty Savage should have been one of the best matches of that show. But because of the Sapphire angle and how it ended in a count out, only like barely 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes, more like a little over 2.
2 minutes.
Yeah, just why? Just why? You couldn't let these guys go out there for like at least 10 minutes and put on a damn good match? Yeah. I don't understand this one at all.
Yeah.
He's speechless. Look at he's fucking speechless.
Moving on. Scott, your number.
Moving on.
Go ahead.
All right. Walter's number 3. I've already mentioned on my list as well. It was the Ring of Fire match from 2013, Bray Wyatt and Kane. What the fuck? This was not the best way to introduce the Bray Wyatt character. Again, look good on paper. Wow, this is going to be something. And nobody's going to get themselves set on fire at this point. So it's just like, okay, what do we do? We try to have interference and everything else, and just didn't work out well. So my number 3, SummerSlam 2005, Edge versus Matt Hardy. You get this angle. You get this fucking angle. A shoot fucking angle. Here you go. Silver platter angle. Here you go. Enjoy yourself. And we get a flat delivery. It gets a TKO finish. Ends way too soon. On a big... that would be something you do on like fucking, a throwaway pay-per-view.
And it was the second match on the card. It should have been like the second to last or second to last.
Something a little bit more like emphasis to it or something, but it's like, no, we can't have this, we can't do that. It's a real life thing. All right, Matt's being a fucking bitch. Let's just face facts. Yeah, your girl was sleeping around with your buddy. Happens a lot, pal, especially in the wrestling business. You should know that, Matt. Ask your wife. But the simple fact is, like, dude, you bitched about it on the live show there, and then you got to make an angle out of it. So, yeah, big disappointment there. What could have been was not.
James.
My number 3, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, 1993 for the Intercontinental Championship. This, for, They hyped this up. Oh, it's gonna be the greatest Intercontinental Championship match of all time, and what we got was okay, solid, not
Just
what
kind
it
of
should have
there.
been.
No, just kind of there.
Like, if you had 96 Shawn versus 90 Mr. Perfect, then it could have been something. But 93 both guys,
No. All right.
My forehead is red
Top
after
2.
all the smacking. All right, number 2.
Then don't fucking smack yourself.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. He is a drummer. Don't forget that. So
Yeah, I was smacking myself blast beat style.
blast beats. Yes.
Anyways, number 2, it's been brought up. Bray Wyatt, Kane, Ring of Fire, 2013. Yeah, not the best way to introduce Bray Wyatt on pay-per-view. It's like on paper, should have been a really good match. But you don't have a stipulation to set your fucking opponent on fire? I get it, PG, but still, if you're gonna do a match like this, set someone on fire, for fuck's sake.
And eventually he would get set on fire.
Exactly.
And eventually he would.
Exactly. And hell, like less than a year later, Kane set a table on fire and went through it. Like, good lord. What's the issue here? And then also, yeah, this match was a giant misfire. Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
Aha.
Not completely terrible, but not that good either. So,
Good point, man. That's what it's all about.
Scott?
All right. Walter's number 2. I already talked about this one, and it's SummerSlam 94, Undertaker versus Undertaker. What more need be said about how disappointing this whole match was for everybody? So that's his number 2. My number 2 is, what else could it be but SummerSlam 93, Lex Luger, Yokozuna. The count-out win that leads to the confetti falling and the big celebration for no fucking reason. And when he doesn't get the title. What the fuck? What the fuck, Vince? What the fuck? So that's my number 2.
We want Brett the title, or we're gonna walk out. Oh yeah.
Whatever. James.
My number 2 is, or it was, the biggest match heading into this particular SummerSlam, and what we ended up with was, well, it was good, but not anywhere close to where it could have been, especially given the build and the hype. Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, 2005. That match was just everything involved with it. Shawn being Shawn. Like, this could have been better than what it was. Not much more I can say about it.
And Hogan being
I'm
Hogan.
sticking with it.
There you go. All right. Well,
Alrighty.
my number 1.
The big one.
My number 1. The reason I was smacking myself is because I thought, James, you would have this at number 1. Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, 1993. I could have swore you had. I swore you was gonna have this at 1. But yeah, I mean, on another, probably the best example of, you look at it on paper, Mr. Perfect, Shawn Michaels, you're expecting one of the greatest IC title matches of all time, and we get it. This is like, out of all the wrestling mysteries, whether kayfabe, shoot, this is the biggest one. Why was this match not a classic? It should have been. You had a good build-up. They were fighting each other in the fucking parking lot of the Manhattan Center on Raw. There was a lot of good stuff going into this. And for some reason, the match just fell flat on its fucking face. I mean, I don't know if Hennig was still hurt at this point. I thought he was healthy by this point. Well, quote-unquote healthy. Yeah, Shawn wasn't quite what he would become, but he was still fantastic. I want to know right now, why was this match not one of the best matches of SummerSlam history? It just... I don't think I'm ever going to get the answer, and... should have been amazing, but it just wasn't. Not bad, but just... It should have been an amazing match. but it wasn't. Scott?
All right. Rounding out Walter Ball's list here, his number one is a match that I already talked about and so forth and so. We've all discussed it so many times. It's SummerSlam 95, Diesel versus Mabel. What more need to be said about that match? Just, what could have been. And I was smirking during James' number 2 because his number 2 is my number 1. SummerSlam 2005, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. Again, on paper, you have the biggest star of the WWF of the 80s. Nobody can argue with that fact. He was the biggest star, Hulk Hogan, against who would be one of the biggest stars of the WWF in the 90s, Shawn Michaels. Then automatically, on paper, you think you have yourself a 10-star, fuck you, Dave Meltzer, 10-star fucking classic, ready to go. And then you get all the stories behind the scenes. Well, there was supposed to be a 3-match angle. Then it became a 2-match angle. Then it came down to a 1-match angle. Hogan ain't putting Shawn over. I don't care what anybody fucking says. Okay, it was never going to happen. And you get the promos that Shawn was doing, and he likes to just pass it off like, well, Stephanie wrote the promos for me, and I just over there was written. And, that Walker thing, that was Bruce Pritchard producing that. Of course, Shawn just passed the buck like you always do. And as James said, the selling that Shawn does. I think Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret said this match becomes Hulk Hogan wrestling the ghost of Kurt Hennig because the ridiculous tumbles and whirly twirls and everything that Shawn's doing. I mean, Hogan bleeds like a fucking stuck pig in this match. It is a brutal fucking scene to see his face in this match. And it's not that bad of a match overall.
No.
It really does go. Shawn shows offense, punching, kicking, doing what he has to do. Tables involved, posts involved, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And it's time for Hogan to make the comeback. And then after the big boot, Shawn takes the bump, gets up, swirls around, and even Hogan's like, "What?" With that blood in his face. And then Shawn lands, leg drop 1, 2, 3. And this match has just become an absolute joke. Yeah. Never to be talked about, and never to be regaled in any way, shape, or form other than Shawn just being an arrogant prick. And these two guys' egos showing that they couldn't do actual business for each other or the company at that time. This is what happens when you have no competition out there. And you can just let egos run rampant. There's no way this shit would fucking happen now. Absolutely not. So, yeah. Our number 1, Hogan, Shawn Michaels. Fucking disappointment. James, take us home.
My number 1 from that same show, Edge Matt Hardy 2005. This was one of the hottest programs, not just in WWE, but in pro wrestling during that year.
Mm-hmm.
This was a semi-main event program that they put second on the card. And just... This was, again, it's not a burial, but they were making an example out of Matt Hardy with this match. It was like 5 minutes, and you do, this should have been an unsanctioned fight. You could have put Matt over then, because you could have always done, well, it wasn't an official match, so you never beat me, which leads to the cage match, which Matt could win that, leading to whatever the hell. Later on with the Money in the Bank on the line.
Yeah, Raw.
This should have been so much more. And yeah, I was disappointed in Shawn versus Hogan, but I was more pissed about Edge versus Matt. Because that should have been so fucking great, and it wasn't.
And on that note, I will be right back. I gotta go unload some groceries. So while you guys begin the top 10, final 10 construction, I shall return.
Right, you go.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard. This is going to be a hard construction because we don't have a lot of the same matches.
No, we don't. That's quite the surprising too. And but we like I didn't think somebody would have my number 1. I thought maybe somebody would have it on the list, and you, James, had that, of course. So okay, it looks like number 1 either has to be Hogan HBK or Kurt Hennig HBK. One of those two. Now, I would argue Hogan HBK just because of the name factors involved. How this is the main event of the show, and it should have been a lot bigger. It was the bigger match. I mean, that would be my argument as why this should be number 1 on our combined list. So I'll put it there as a placement holder right now. When Levi gets in here, we'll ask his opinion about that, and I'll put perfect number 2 against HBK at number 2. We'll do that there. 3.
I think we all had the Elimination Chamber.
I didn't, but 3 out of 4 works for me, so that's fine. Elimination Chamber, 2003. What was? Let me see. I got to get the years in there too. What was perfect HBK? That was 93, right?
93, and Hogan Shawn was 05.
2005, right? Okay. Elimination Chamber 03. I probably Edge and match
had Randy and Dusty. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That should go there then. Let's do Randy versus Dusty. 1990. Then we should probably do Edge and Matt. You and I had that pretty high together.
Yeah.
So we'll put that in there. That's also 2005. 6. Eddie and Ray.
Because I had that as an honorable. Levi had that.
I didn't have it on my list. Oh, Levi had his. Okay, and Walter didn't have it. So, Ring of Fire match. I think 3 of us had that.
Yeah, 3 of you had it, so I can agree with that.
Oh, okay, so I'll put that. I had as an honorable mention, but both Levi and Walter had it on their lists. So Kane. That's 2013. So we got Randy and Dusty. Let's see. You and I both had Kofi and Randy on there.
Yeah. Me and Levi had the 99 triple threat.
You did have that. So probably I'll put that there right now, placeholder on number 7. So that's Rock, Triple H, Angle, 2000.
No, Austin, Triple H, Mankind.
Put that at number 8. Okay.
Yeah, only one of us had the 2000 triple threat.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So put Austin, Triple H, Mankind as number 7. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then Kofi, Randy.
Austin. We'll put that 8. All right. Austin, Triple H, Mankind. 1999. And then we'll put Kofi, BRKO, 2019. Let's see. Both Walter and I had Jinder Mahal against Shinsuke Nakamura. We also both had the tag title cage match, Kane and Taker, DDP Canyon. What else? You had Brock and Randy, right?
Yeah.
You had that one. I don't think anybody else had it though. I think Levi had he had Cena Randy, and nobody else had that one. I think Luger and Yoko I think should go on there because it is a disappointing
just for the finish. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put that like 10. I won't do it number 9, but I'll put Yoko, Luger, 1993, and let's see. You had what was in your honorable mentions too? You had 5 of them.
I had Undertaker Kane 2000, the ladder match from 05, Hogan Orton 06, Orton Cena 09, and Punk Cena 2011.
Okay. But maybe I mentioned this. Did Levi have that ladder match too with Ray and Eddie or no?
He had that on his list.
He did. All right. I'll put that at number 9. And what year was that again? 2000.
2005.
5. Okay.
God, that's 3 matches from 05.
Yeah, how about that? That tells you what was going on in 2005 there. So that's 10 of them. So this is not official. We'll wait till Levi gets back from being a good son and go over the list with him and see what he thinks. And of course, Walter's not here, so I will act in a power of attorney capacity and for him. I mean, this is a tough list, and there's a lot that we could add and remove and so forth. So, but yeah, in that respect, yeah, and again, we all consciously wanted to make sure we were choosing matches that weren't bad matches. It was just matches that looked good on paper, but the execution or something happened in the match that just made the whole thing go to a big kerfluffle. So,
and some of it could just be the finish.
Yeah, like the
like
elimination
with a movie, you could have a good with a movie, you could have a good beginning, a good middle, and a shit end. And what will you remember? The shit end.
The shit end. Mm-hmm. Yep. So while we still have some downtime here, we did mention this earlier on in the show. James was rebooting his computer at the time. Our schedule for the next few weeks looks like this. Next Saturday, we are not on because of SummerSlam itself being happening that night. We will be on Sunday afternoon and give our thoughts about SummerSlam and talk about TakeOver happening that night. The following week, we are actually off that week because Levi will be away on vacation. That's August 28th. Then we get into September. Wow, we're getting into September already. September 4th, we do Fall Brawl 1996. September 11th, we're talking Kurt Angle in 2006. August 18th, we are doing ECW, a pay-per-view from ECW, because that should be episode 69. And August 25th, we do top 10 heels, which I'm already getting my list together for that one. So. And Levi is back. So, all right. So Levi, we have a comprised list. We'll throw it at you. Give us your opinions. This is not final. But we want to get feedback to get to your thoughts on it. So, all of us had, well, not all of us, but a majority of us had a Shawn Michaels match near the top, near like 1 or 2. You know, you did, I did, and James did. Mm-hmm. So right now we have Hogan versus Shawn Michaels as number 1, and Perfect versus Shawn Michaels number 2. Hogan's number 1 because it's a main event.
It was a bigger match.
It was a match. So in that respect, we think that's 1.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect versus Shawn would be number 2. Number 3, we had the Elimination Chamber from 2003. 3 out of 4 of us, you, James, and Walter, all had it on your list, so definitely belongs on there. Number 4, again, 3 out of 4 people had this. Randy Savage, Dusty Rhodes, 1990. Number 5, because I had it close to my top and it was James' number 1, we put Edge versus Matt Hardy as number 5. Number 6, we put the Ring of Fire match, Bray and Kane, because a lot of us had that one on there too. Number 7, both you and James had this and made good arguments for it. It's the Triple Threat from 1999, Austin, Triple H, Mankind. Number 8, we had Kofi versus Randy Orton from 2019. Me and James had that on our list. Number 9, we put Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, the ladder match from 2005 on there. And number 10, just because we need to get this match on the top 10 for most disappointing matches, Yokozuna, Lex Luger from 1993. So that's our number 10. So any thoughts, any ideas? Do you think anything needs to be added, removed on that list?
Nah. I think it's perfectly fine. I find it funny. 3 matches from 2005.
Exactly what James said.
Yep.
Exactly what James said. Yep. What does that tell you about that year, right? Yeah, 2 matches from 1993, 3 matches from 2005.
Yep.
And 2005 is one of the most bought SummerSlams of all time.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yep. All right, well, and I came back and we said the upcoming schedule, at least through September.
Yep.
But
so that's all we have scheduled right now.
But yeah, so now time to hang out with the chatty chat. See what people want to talk about or bring
since
up
we talked
topics.
About most disappointing SummerSlam matches, what about some SummerSlam matches that were really surprising? Like, holy shit, I didn't expect that to be good, but holy crap, that was great.
Yeah. I have to think about that. I'm trying to think of what would be a really good one off the top of my head.
Oh.
Two come to mind. Two come to my mind.
Kind of putting me on the spot.
One of them.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Fire them off.
One of them, Ted DiBiase, Virgil, 1991, $1 million title.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. Yep, that is a really good match.
And then
Best match of Virgil's career.
Shane McMahon and Test from 1999.
Yeah.
The Lover Reliever Street Fight.
Yeah, that was a great match.
That is a good one.
Best match on that fucking show.
Which that says a lot about that show.
Yeah.
When Test and Shane McMahon was your best match.
Yeah.
At least says something.
Other ones.
I mean, I personally cannot recall enough matches to even, I had to sit down and really research this list to begin with, so because I cannot remember that many matches these days.
Surprisingly good to great matches.
Or hidden gems in SummerSlam history.
Owen Shamrock Lions Den match, 98.
Yeah.
There was actually quite a few matches on 98 show that would be in that conversation.
The hair versus hair between X-Pac and Jarrett.
Jarrett and X-Pac, yeah.
Yep, Jarrett X-Pac, yep.
That's another one. I tell you what's an interesting
Hakushi 1-2-3 Kid from 95.
Yeah. That's best match on the card.
For me,
the ladder match. The ladder match was on that show too.
Razor Shawn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but it wasn't the ladder match.
Yeah. But yeah, I had one, and it's gonna be for SummerSlam. James is gonna be covering very soon. Edge Lance Storm Intercontinental Title match 2001. I thought that was a really good match. Very forgotten about IC title match too when you really think about it.
Because it was the Invasion. Fuck the Invasion.
Yeah.
But still. Invasion
Fucking
or not
invasion, motherfucker. Break your back, make your hump.
Oh god. Still trying to think of some.
I gotta look up matches. I just can't remember anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head some. I'm gonna mention this match. I don't think many people would say it's a hidden gem. I think it is a little bit of a hidden gem because when people look at this match on paper because of how stupid fans were in 2008, these are two bad workers. This match is gonna suck. John Cena Batista. That match was fantastic. And yeah, because of how dumb fans were in 2008, they thought that match was gonna suck. With two quote-unquote bad workers, and you put them out there and they have a fantastic match. Second best match on that show. Bad, kind of rough finish because Cena injured his neck from the catching powerbomb, but still. I still think they had a much better match in Over the Limit 2010 that what was it? Was it I Quit or was it Last Man Standing? It was I Quit. And now I thought that match was amazing too, so yeah. Crap. Damn button.
We got any comments in the comment section?
Russell asks, what matches are everybody looking forward to for this year's SummerSlam? He said, looking forward to Edge and Seth. That's the big one for me, looking forward to the most. Well, Cena, Roman too, but
Cena, Roman, definitely, I'm looking forward to that.
But Edge and Seth, that's going to be something. So, yeah, I'm going to say that.
I'm looking through various SummerSlams, like nothing is like popping out of me as like
popping
a
out
hidden
is
gem
like,
or anything like special.
I'm gonna say, well, we talked about when we did 93 that 6-man tag. the match before the main event. I'd say that's a hidden gem.
Steiner's Heavenly Bodies from that same show.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, Steiner's Heavenly Bodies. I would say this. I would say
the first match in SummerSlam history, Bulldogs Rougeaus.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And I would say this one, because similar to Cena Batista, people think, oh, these two can't work. Diesel Razor Ramon 94 Intercontinental title match. That's a great match. Because people want to say, oh, Kevin Nash could only have... Yeah.
From that same show, Alundra Blaze Bull Nakano for the women's title.
Yeah. Still trying to think of some. I'm also trying to think of like recent hidden gems too, not just old ones. I'm trying to think of some new ones. My eye.
My hole.
My hole.
How's your hole? Family, how's your hole? Family, how's your hole? Family, how is your whole family? Get a dick. Tation machine, get a dick. Tation machine, get a dick. Tation machine, get a dick.
I just remembered another one. Undertaker Test 2002. I think that's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Just because you look at it on paper, you'd think Undertaker Test probably not going to be that good. And it was a pretty good match. So, in terms of the surprisingly good category, that would be one of them. Now it's turning into that Family Guy scene where they're just going...
Exactly. Yep. A lot of clearing of the throats.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
What are you fucking Walking Dead over there? Jeez. Shh. Hawk poo.
Oh my lord. I just remembered another one. What the fuck was that? Was it Money Incorporated and Road and Legion of Doom 92? Was that the match, or was that... I'm thinking that was it.
No, that was 92.
Yeah.
That was
92 when Hawk was all fucked up.
Hawk was all fucked up, so yeah.
But the match was still pretty good.
Given the fact that Hawk was all fucked up, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Tells you how good the talent was back then. They could fucking work fucked up. Which I'm guessing it had to be a factor why Shawn Michaels, Kurt Hennig was not that good. I bet you those guys were out partying too much the night before.
Maybe.
Well, you also got to remember 93 Shawn was fat.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. He said he weighed at one point like 240 up to that point.
Mm-hmm. What about SummerSlam 2017 Usos New Day?
I don't even remember that match.
No,
honestly, I don't remember either.
When it comes to New Day Usos, there's only one match I think of, and that's Hell in a Cell.
So, yeah, but I mean, these guys don't have bad matches. That's not a knock on them.
That's true.
It doesn't stick out, you know.
Yeah, hell, their Battleground match was more memorable than the SummerSlam one, if you ask me. Just because that was like the one, that was like the hay and the needle stack that was that shitty show.
One match I almost put as an honorable mention on my disappointments, just because of the time frame. Big Show versus Big Cass from 2017 with Enzo and the Shark Cage.
Oh my lord!
Yeah. And that's a fucking disappointment right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wow. I tell you, I don't remember some of these matches. I'm looking at SummerSlam 2016, and the opening match, I think this was a dark match. Usos, American Alpha, Hype Bros, beat Brizongo, the Ascension, and Vaudevillians. How many people still have jobs?
Yeah, that was during that was the pre-show. That was
pre-show.
Yeah. Because the opener of that was Owens and Jericho versus Cass and Enzo.
Enzo and Cass. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, speaking of that show, I would consider this match at this point to be a hidden gem, considering the crowd just didn't care other than to cheer, than to just fucking shit on the belt. Balor Rollins that night for the Universal title.
I was just going to mention that, minus the injury and all that stuff, but that was a great match.
Yeah. Not the best match on that show, but still.
No, but still, it's a good one.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
No, not that one. No.
I'm trying to remember any matches that stood out.
Checked out. Here's a side quest for you guys. Has anyone checked out the trailer to the show Heels on Stars, starring Stephen Amell?
Nope.
Anyone seen this?
No.
The full-on show that's going to be on Stars called Heels. It's all about a wrestling promotion in Middle America, but it's not all about the show. It's about the stuff that's happening in their lives. So the wrestling kind of sets the backdrop for what's going on in their lives. And Steve Amell is a star of that show. So it looks pretty good. I don't get Stars, so I can't see it, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember
Dean
if there was any.
Let's see, 2015, Dean and Roman against
versus
the Wyatt
Harper
family.
And Bray.
Yep.
I was just about to say 2014 Ambrose Rollins in the Lumberjack match. One of the better Lumberjack matches you'll ever see.
2014 Roman versus Randy.
Honestly, I was thinking of putting that match in my disappointing list because that match was so underwhelming.
I thought it was solid for what it was.
Yeah, I feel the issue that I have with that match is the fact that Randy just did not want to work with Roman and he just was not into it. But then again, when Orton's in a bad mood or doesn't give a shit, he ain't gonna give a shit in the match. It's always been an issue I've had with Randy.
But same show, you can't deny what this match was. Stephanie McMahon, Brie Bella.
That one was...
Yeah,
I mean, there was a lot of fucking drama at that time. There was a lot of heat into that match.
Yeah.
Fucking God, Stephanie is just on fire in that match, being a heel.
Yeah, and the build-up, she's pretending to cry. I just want you to know, at SummerSlam, I'm gonna make you my bitch. Like how she can just go from just sour, sad to just burn your bitch ass. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm still trying to think of some surprisingly good or hidden gem matches. 2005.
Wait a minute. Oh wait, 2005. Which one were you gonna talk about?
I was gonna say Batista JBL. I thought for a brawl that was pretty good between those two. I thought that one was surprisingly good. But you were gonna say?
But hidden gem, Charlotte versus Trish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was a good match. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, I just had it. I think this was this may have been on somebody's an honorable mention last week, but from '88, Demolition versus Heart Foundation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because that match gets forgotten about in comparison to the match at 90. Yeah.
That's definitely a hidden gem, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, maybe not the best match in the world, but I thought it was, for what was entertaining, Boss Man Mountie in 91, the jailhouse match.
Yep, the jailhouse match. Yep, here's the finger.
You want the finger? Here's the finger.
Rude from Warrior Rude for the Intercontinental title in 89.
Yeah.
That's actually, I was just getting the 89 show. Brainbusters against the Heart Foundation. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Warrior Rude.
Rockers and Tito versus Rougeos and Martel in the 6-man.
Yep. It's on there too. Yep, that's some good stuff there.
When it comes to WrestleMania season, it's going to be a lot more interesting because there's a lot of great and hidden gems and disappointing and
terrible. Yeah.
We are gonna revisit this for WrestleMania season when it comes around. Yes. So be waiting for that one. Let's see. Nothing there.
Jesus Christ, Levi.
Smile, it won't mess up your hair. Stop laughing. I said stop laughing.
Mention anything in the comment section?
Not again.
Anything in the comments?
Russell, he was bringing up for Hidden Gems, Val and D'Lo from 98 despite the finish. Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah, but the finish.
Good match, just that finish is off.
Yeah. But so how about while you guys were talking about like the future episodes to come, like in September. So for October, this is what I had penciled in for October. October 2nd, we review TNA Bound for Glory 2006, a show James was at. And also I do want to talk about that show. The October 9th, CM Punk 2011. All about the insanity that year. October 16th, No Mercy 2001. The 23rd, top 10 bloodiest matches in WWE history. Because if we included all of wrestling, it would be, I guarantee it'd be like all mostly Japanese death matches.
Japanese and Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Be all Japan and Puerto Rican matches.
Now, wait a minute. Weren't we going to be doing tag team specialists at some point?
Oh, yeah.
That was on the list somewhere. Yeah, that's on there somewhere.
Yeah.
So
November. I think that was for November, yeah. At least
because that'll fit in with Survivor Series.
Yeah.
With the whole team thing.
Yep. And then
that should be for November. Yeah.
And then the final episode for October, the day before Halloween. Why not Halloween Havoc? 1992. Spin the wheel, make the deal, man.
Spin the wheel, make the deal. Spin the wheel, baby. Spin the wheel, make the deal.
Make the deal.
Yeah. So and then
I'm scared of the wheel.
I knew you'd come.
Yeah. And then for November, I figured, the top 10 tag team specialists at the end of the month. Wanted to cover a November to remember, but which one would you guys want to do? That's the question.
Maybe 94 or 95 or something like that.
Yeah. And
like an older ECW.
Way back.
Like way back. Old ECW ones, yeah. It's like 90. Let's just earmark, since we're talking so much about 95 being a shit year in the business, we should check out November to Remember 95.
Yeah. And then for Survivor Series.
For November, I do have. How many weeks are in November?
4. Yeah.
4. So we have Tag Team Specialists, November to Remember, Survivor Series. Let's do a Thanksgiving Starcade.
Yeah. Yeah, because Starcade.
Starcade 86.
Yeah, 86.
86.
86. Hell yeah.
Because 35th anniversary.
And which Survivor Series do we want to watch?
Well, I'm going to throw a few options out here. We could do... I gotta think. I want to try and do, like, 91. From each of the different eras. Like...
Alright, so maybe first one, 87.
87 for the original era. For middle era, 97?
97?
Well, we already did 96, but...
No, that's right.
Yeah.
We did that. I'm sorry.
2001.
87, 97, or 87, 97, 87, 97, 2007, 2017. You want to go that?
Well, 2007, I think, is kind of underrated. I'll say so.
Okay.
That could be an option. So yeah, maybe these 4 options: 87, 97, 01, 07.
Poll.
Yeah,
we'll do a poll.
We'll do a poll.
Not right now. We'll do one.
Not
in the
right
future.
now. We'll do one in the future to decide which one you guys want us to cover. Probably save the poll for.
Okay. Hey, wait. Can we not have 97 on the poll? Because people are automatically going to choose that.
Oh yeah, because
let's talk about Montreal.
Yeah, that's true.
That can be its own subject.
Yeah, it really could.
Yeah,
so I guess we'll take 97 out.
So
87, 98,
99,
okay.
yeah.
99.
87, 99, 01, 07.
01, 07. Okay.
Yeah. 01 because I
I'm
feel like
notes.
Yeah, it's like 01 I would like to talk about that because I think even though end of the invasion, but I thought it was a really good show. With one of the best main events in Survivor Series, despite everything, but yeah. But oh my god, if they vote 99, I can't. If they vote 99, I can't wait to shit all over that show. Fucking hate that show with a passion. In my opinion, the worst Survivor Series of all time. But that's just me.
All right. So we got ideas right now for October, November. Nothing's etched in stone. So we will revisit these as we come closer to them. But I made notes here for all that stuff. So we can keep that in mind. So not bad. Yep.
And then as far as December, which would only be 3 weeks for us because we take Christmas and New Year's off.
Yeah.
I did have one show in mind for December just for selfish purposes. TNA Turning Point 2009, because on that show, final pay-per-view for a while in the 6-sided ring second to last. And 2 of the best matches in company history on that show, AJ Joe Daniels for the world title, and Kurt Angle, Nigel McGuinness, or Desmond Wolfe at the time. Because I'd love to talk about those matches, but it can change, of course. Now, the other 2 weeks, I have no fucking clue. We'd have to think on that when we get to that.
December to Dismember.
Oh, yes. Yes.
No, please.
It's the 15th anniversary. Please. It's the 15th anniversary.
You got to throw the logic at me, don't you? All right, yeah.
Well, after all, we can't always talk about the good stuff. We have to talk about some shit topics at some point. And what better shit topic than that shit show? Well, except for one match.
Probably one of the worst. And even that, it had no story to it. December can. There's
another Starcade we could do in there.
Starcade 96.
Yeah, 96 would be an interesting option. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's really no WWE, WWF December pay-per-view that really sticks out. Maybe Rock Bottom, just because that was a childhood one of mine, but even at that, the show wasn't that great.
No.
It's like a lot of the December WWF pay-per-views are crap except for one match. Mm-hmm. Although, that could be we could always do a top 10 in December, if we can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Could do that.
Yeah, we could. So yeah, Starcade 96 would be a good choice. Turning Point 09 would be in the conversation. December to Dismember, of course, is in there. And then a top 10 episode. Yeah. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Could do, or did we do this already? Hang on a second. I'm trying to remember. I think we did this. No, we didn't do this. It's the end of the year. So why not top 10 favorite finishers?
The year finishers, end of the supposed end of the match.
Supposed end of the match, top 10 finishers.
Yeah.
Something like I'm just throwing it out there. Doesn't mean we have to, but it's This is the way my mind works.
Yeah. Well, maybe for November, a couple different things could change because Russell just brought up like how we did main events and disappointing match SummerSlam. We could do that for Survivor Series, possibly.
Could do that.
See, I also brought up Survivor Series teams.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Oh, yeah.
I
forgot you did say that.
Yeah. We should actually.
Or with how about with Survivor or with November, we could just do all top 10s and not cover a show.
We could.
We could do that. What? Okay. So we already have top 10 tag team specialists for that month.
Top 10 Survivor Series teams. And then, like, the top 10 Survivor Series main events and disappointing Survivor Series matches. There's your whole month right there. Yeah, there we go.
There you go, yeah.
Good call there, Russell. And then do the same thing for Royal Rumble. Like, disappointing and best Royal Rumble matches. Well, if we do for, like, top 10 best Royal Rumble matches, would we do just non-Rumble matches or all like the top 10 best Royal Rumble matches?
We do top 10 Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Wait till we get there. You know, please, you don't know what the heck's happening tomorrow.
So in April of 2023, we're going to cover this topic and this topic and this topic.
yeah.
June.
Next October.
On the 10th anniversary. On the 10th anniversary of the Shadow Cult, we're going to re-watch Heroes of Wrestling.
And hope YouTube don't take us down this time.
By that time, Google will not own YouTube anymore. We can watch it freely. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's
Jeffrey Bezos.
Oh my god.
CEO, entrepreneur, born in 1964. Jeffrey Bezos. Bo Burnham. You know what I'm talking about? Find Bo Burnham Inside on Netflix. You will change after watching that show. It's brilliant. All right. Yeah. See, his eyes were aflutter with that man-made butter.
All right. Any current topics to talk about?
Well, we did talk about this before the show started. The whole thing with Christian winning the Impact title from Omega.
Yep.
Oh, how about that up-and-comer Christian Cage? Holy crap! I can't believe Kenny put over a young guy.
I know. Wow, amazing. Clean too.
47 years young.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to Impact, I don't really know what they're doing anymore. But
me neither.
Yeah,
me neither.
Happy for Christian that he got it, but over Omega.
So, I think at one of their next events, it's going to be Christian versus Kurt Hawkins for their world title.
Probably.
So, Edge's best friend versus an Edgehead.
And watch, Kenny's going to cost Christian, meaning Kurt Hawkins is going to be a world champion.
Oh my god!
I met Brian; he's a good guy, so I wouldn't mind if he was the champion.
Yeah, but still, the thought of Kurt Hawkins being a world champion.
Wasn't he a world tag champion in WWF?
Well, I'm talking
Same thing, bro.
World, the top title.
I know, the top guy. I know, but it's Impact Wrestling. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a second-tier championship company these days, so yeah. But well.
They're associated with AEW, so everything gets blah blah blah.
So is Rampage? I'm still confused about that. Is Rampage their new second show? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Or is it just a solo thing?
Yeah,
that's what it is. Okay, all right.
It's their new second show.
So they've got that, and this is on. Is that on TNT or TBS?
TNT.
That's on
it's going to be moving to TBS with.
Okay.
They're both moving to TBS starting.
For too long, yeah.
Okay. That I couldn't remember.
But Oh yeah, and like we talked about last week, yeah, could you imagine like next week when they're in Chicago and Punk don't show up, the uproar? Good lord.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That's where it's gonna be like.
I'm gonna laugh if Punk doesn't show up. I'm gonna have the biggest laugh I'll ever have at the fans. Holy shit.
I'm gonna watch Rampage next week specifically to see what the hell happens.
I probably will
as is a lot of people.
Because if they all the shit that's been dropped on the internet. Now let's also remember now too, from what I know, and I don't claim to know everything when it comes to AEW, there's been subtle, small hints about Punk coming, but nothing like in your face, like, yeah, he's coming.
Right.
Like Omega wearing the Cookie Master shirt, that kind of stuff. So if Punk doesn't show up in Chicago, crowd's gonna be pissed. Internet's gonna be pissed, and they're probably gonna play it off like, we never said he was coming, you guys did. They're gonna try to backpedal like that.
Right.
That's in case he doesn't show up. If he does, fine. Okay, yeah. You better pay it off somehow. Because there's so much speculation. Because fans want to know everything ahead of time and then hate on it later once they know.
Yeah.
But, speaking of that, everyone check out Chris Van Fleet. You know him. Interviewer dude from Canada.
Yep.
Does great interviews a lot of wrestlers. Just did one with formerly Tyler Breeze, Matt Clement. Check that interview out because fucking Breeze is the man. I mean, that guy has got it. He's got it down. He knows his business. He knows what he's doing. Wrestling is an afterthought for him nowadays because he was smart with his investments. He knew this wasn't going to last forever. The guy worked for the company over 10 years, for fuck's sake. And he is the only man in WWE's roster to have wrestled Jushin Liger. So he's got all that going for him. And he said in the interview, I could retire from wrestling if I wanted to, because he has the school that he does with Sean Spears, training people. He enjoys doing that. He's got real estate investments and other stuff like that. And he's going on Twitch now and doing YouTube and all that stuff. He's still associated with Up, Up, Down, Down. It's like, it's the fucking man right there. That is exactly what every wrestler should be aspiring to be, because that gravy train ain't going to last forever.
Yeah.
And he's not bitter one little bit either. So a lot of respect for Tyler for that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I actually just recently watched a short video. I forgot this. I didn't even know this happened. But I guess during whenever Breeze got released, I guess when Adam Cole was streaming on Twitch and he found out and he saw his reaction, I couldn't help but feel bad for Adam, like, seeing that, and he about wanted to cry. It's like, damn. And then it comes back to like, no, I'm not a Doritos Cool Ranch guy. Like, that was a weird thing to come back. But still.
Just because I'm a cynical prick, I don't know if that was his real reaction when he got that news, because he doesn't mention it. That could be his response to anything.
True.
I know somebody put it as the title, but I don't know if that's his actual reaction to that news. It's not like he didn't see him again, because he's still doing Up, Up, Down, Down videos with Matt.
Yeah,
they just did a spicy noodle challenge. It was Adam Cole, Cesaro, Woods, and Matt all doing the spicy stuff together. And Cole loves spicy food. Him and Cesaro too. They're secret chili buddies. So Matt can't stand it.
Members of the Chili Peppers.
Yeah, so just because I'm a cynical prick, I question a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is what it is, though. But shit. But
anyway, derailed him.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good that Breeze has still got some good stuff going on, and he's not totally left hanging. Because if he was totally left hanging, I'd be like,
bitter prick.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to send a shout out real quick to Bobby Fish. He unfortunately just lost his brother to I think it was cancer. His older brother Robert Fish, that I was actually in class with. I've taught. Me and Bob went to the same high school. His brother Rick was in my class, and we were like friends, or like. But I knew him, and of course, me and Bob met years after we were both out of high school. But yeah, shout out to Bobby Fish with that tragedy. So definitely wanted to mention that.
I got a weird thing to say. So, my dad was coming home. Shh, you drown yourself. Anyways, so my dad came home with this newspaper from Ashland, Kentucky, about a storage auction somewhere in Ashland, Kentucky, and apparently L. McIntyre was listed on the list as someone's locker that wasn't paid off, and they're like, "Did you have a locker not paid off in Ashland?" I'm like, "Hell no!" We just thought that was funny. Like, literally, L. McIntyre on fucking Ashland, Kentucky newspaper. I don't remember ever going to Ashland for a storage auction, maybe but once years ago. And I've only been to two storage auctions. You were in no position to buy a locker. I guess. I've only been to 2 storage auctions with my dad. Both times he bought a locker. Terrible decision because there was garbage and crap everywhere. It's like, why do I go with you to these things again? And thank God the last time this happened. Yeah, well, he's obsessed with trying to spy and sell shit, but still, like, the last time, though, we went to one, we caught a lucky break that some guy who was working there offered to buy it from us. So it was like, oh, thank God we don't have to haul this garbage back home. Because the first time we went, there was a bunch of, like, piss-stained, hairy, sticky mattresses we had to haul and throw it in a fire. Because it's like, fuck that. That's why I tell my dad every time if he's wanting to go to storage auction, do not take me with you because I am bad luck. But I need help. Still, don't let me go with you, otherwise you won't get anything good.
You're there for manual labor. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Yeah. But still, I just thought that was kind of funny. And oh, Russell just brought, did you see the interview with Peyton Royce?
The Van Fleet one. I saw the one that he did. Actually, I saw an interview that Renee did with the Iconics a few days after they were released, and but I have not seen anything recently from them. I would hope the shock has gone away, because honestly, I think these girls were a little too overly emotional about it, because it really seemed like they thought they were going to be there forever, and that ain't going to happen.
No.
So, these are not lifetime contracts you're signing, people. You're there until they don't need you anymore. And obviously, they didn't need you anymore. So you kind of got to just kind of brush it off, because that's what Breeze said in his thing. He got the call. Hey, man, what's up? Yeah, sorry. Really? Yeah. Oh, okay, no problem. Any questions? Nope. All right, talk to you later. Click. Reactivated his Twitch, his YouTube, and got right back to business. Like, you don't fucking sit around and mull over it. Move on. You just got to keep going. Doesn't mean you're never going back there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be mad and I'm gonna be angry and I'm just gonna bitch and moan and complain and blah blah blah.
And then I'm gonna join AEW.
Yeah. And hey, if she joins, fine, man. It doesn't. Okay, it's a job. Good for you. Enjoy yourself.
And at least she'd be with her husband. At least I guess that's it.
Yeah. And Sean, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Good on you, man. I hope she tastes as good as she smells. Not that I know how she smells.
Aha!
What?
Anyways, you were going to say, James?
Nah, I wasn't going to say anything. You were going to say something.
I have something to say. Has everyone seen the interview that Keith Lee put out explaining where he's been?
Yes.
I've not heard it, but I know about the story. Yeah, heart inflammation. Ugh. That's scary.
That's no fucking joke. Yep.
Jesus. Yeah, so we were
good
right at the time that we were worried, and now that he's healthy again and he's back.
Physically. So it wasn't because Vince was mad at him or any other bullshit. It was all health related. And you know what? Much love to Maya Yim. She did not leave his side. Cost her a spot in Royal Rumble, and she didn't care. She's doing the right thing. So much respect to her.
And people that were shitting on her, it's like people owe her a fucking apology.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely. Because good lord.
Yeah, and credit to WWE for catching this and
doing what they needed to do to help them.
Yeah, so to all you people who thought, oh, they sent Keith Lee back to Performance Center, blah, 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 fuck you. There you go. And honestly, I can't think of a better way to wrap this show up than saying fuck you to those idiots. So there you go. Plug time.
Fuck you idiots.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Exactly.
Yes.
Dave
fuck
Meltzer.
him in the asshole with a big rubber dick.
More like fuck him in the ass with a barbed wire wrapped dildo. More like it. Because that's all he deserves is pain. Anyways, plug type. Right. Dave Meltzer, I got just a perfect product for you, you big dumb jackass. I got this dildo my wife refuses to use. I'm gonna wrap it in barbed wire and I'm gonna shove it up your asshole.
Speaking of plugs, it's now plug time.
All right, so first and foremost,
you get great content like this. Subscribe to the Shadow Call.
Exactly. Get us to 100 subscribers. Scott, you go ahead.
All right. All right, first let's represent our good brother Walter, who couldn't join us this week, but thanks, brother, for sending me your top 10 so I could get that on here. Glad I could do that for you. Find Walter on Twitter at YourWaltBall, and you find him on Instagram at smoking_Walt_ball. You also find me and Walter together, along with our friends Tom Clark, Skip Novak, and Dan Roberts as part of the Necrocasticon podcast. We have a lot of great time talking to horror authors and musicians and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Great times are had by all. And you find me on my YouTube channel. It's Mr. Scott. Please go there and subscribe. Recently hit the 2,000 subscriber mark, and I also hit the 300,000 view mark back on August 8th of this month. What the hell? 300K views on my channel. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All about that. So please go on there and subscribe. You find me on Twitch under It's Mr. Scott, where I'm jamming on there. Had a nice jam on there this afternoon. Got a huge bit donation. Shout out to Church Keys, a buddy of mine that I met. So that was a big shout. 5,000 bits. What the holy shit. Yeah. Church Keys, thank you so much. And he gave me some suggestions to do for reactions, so I'll be doing those soon. And so please find me on Twitch and follow me there. And you find me on Twitter under It's Mr. Scott and Instagram under It's Mr. Scott. If you go to my Twitter account, you just go to my profile page right there, pinned to the top is all my shit. So just go there and check it out. Please do. James.
You can find me on my YouTube at We Are Pro Wrestling, where I just covered SummerSlam 1998. This coming week, SummerSlam 2001. After that, SummerSlam 2007. And I'll talk about September and stuff when we get to it. And you can follow me on my Twitter at WAPW_wrestling, where you will get a bunch of updates on what the hell I'm going to be doing in the future.
Alright, and then you can subscribe to me on YouTube, ThrashManiac99. I've been thinking about what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks. I've put up a couple different polls for some ideas for thinking about doing weekly retro album reviews. I put up a poll so far. Most people want me to do Master of Puppets Metallica. And then for another band album ranking, seems like a lot of people want me to talk Alice in Chains, so those will be 2 upcoming videos. Thinking about basically now starting to turn my channel mostly into a metal channel now. Because, like, after all, with the wrestling content, it's basically just dying off, apart from modern pay-per-view reviews. The racing stuff, mostly my Marvel Studios Cup stuff, so it's like, well, shit, what am I gonna do? Oh, I know, gaming and metal. So there we go. So that's probably gonna be the bulk of content going forward on my channel going forward. You can follow me on my dead Twitter, at ThrashManiac99. You can follow me on Instagram at ThrashManiac_YT. And finally, follow and or subscribe to me on Twitch, ThrashManiac99. I am currently 35 followers away from 300. And good lord, I have to give credit to 99% Nerdy for birthday stream, gifting so many subs and helping me get to my subscriber goal of 10, which is now like 13 right now. So yeah, that was insane.
On your first hype train, by the way.
Yeah, for my first ever hype train. Yeah, that happened. So there you go. Yeah, and thank you too, Scott, for that. But yeah, so as far as what's coming up streaming wise, well, originally tomorrow was supposed to have been the Jeremy Wagner interview on the Horseman podcast, postponed to September since he's rehearsing with Broken Hope, getting ready for a couple of shows next weekend out in LA, San Diego, and Vegas. Good on him and the band. So he said,
hopefully it don't get canceled.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's looking like September's going to be when we'll get to do the interview. So at least it wasn't a total loss. We actually had a backup. So there you go. Probably going to stream tomorrow. Don't know what, but who cares? All right. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for sticking around. And until next week, where we talk SummerSlam this year, I'm Ty, and we'll see you soon, jackasses.
Jackass.
Next Saturday,